career should not define who you are. It is just a part of who you are. We have to learn to respect our environment. We have to learn to respect our bodies, treat ourselves to a more healthy lifestyle. Clean environment should not be a privilege or a luxury. It should be a basic necessity.
Hello all, welcome back to the newest edition of KM Talks. Today with us we have one pandemic warrior, a COVID-19 warrior, a wonderful doctor right from Mumbai. Her name is Dr. Pallavi Pai. She's been a MBBS graduate from Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. She has done her MD in anesthesiology from SAIT GS Medical College and KEM College Mumbai. She's right now assistant professor of anesthesiology in Topiwala National Medical College and Nayar Hospital, currently working in Mumbai's only BMC run fully COVID tertiary center. She is upfront, working like a warrior to treat the corona pandemic. Hello, Pallavi, how are you?
Hello. I've been better, but yeah, doing okay.
Wow,
Thanks.
wow. Thank you
How are
so
you
much.
doing?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for joining us on KM Talks. To all our viewers
Anytime.
out there, if you're watching it from YouTube, do subscribe to this channel. If you're watching it on Facebook, do like my page so that we can bring more and more this kind of warriors on the page and interview them. And so the message is spread. The ultimate, what they say, the reasoning, the ultimate purpose is to spread the message from the people who are there working upfront and inspiring others. So Pallavi has been inspiring all the way throughout, and she's actually an anesthetist. So anesthetist, what do you actually do, and why did you choose this specialty?
Anesthesia is colloquially called behoshi wale doctor. So what we do is we put patients to sleep and make you pain-free during surgeries. But though it sounds simple, it's a lot more than that. Though it looks like the surgeon is doing the major job, we are at the front line even then, like taking control of your body when it's not able to do anything on its own. So another area of our expertise is critical care. What you see is your ICU. So we do those things. Why I picked it is I did this after a lot of deliberation because this field allows me to have juggle a good personal life as well as professional life, because other fields, usually take a lot of your time mentally. It's quite taxing. But once I'm done with my shift, I'm usually like done for the day and I don't have to look back and think about it. So mentally, it's quite peaceful. So I think I chose this quite deliberately, and I'm very happy with my choice.
Oh, that's really so nice to listen. So I have seen you since childhood, and you have been a consistent performer throughout. Yeah, I have been witness to this. What are those three important factors which always have pushed you higher to achieve more and more in life?
One is there's always a thirst to know more, not just to keep up with your profession, but also to do no harm. Because in medicine, doing more harm than good is, what effects it causes. And our oath says primum non nocere, which is like do no harm. First, do no harm. So first thing is to know more, to do no harm, and also to keep up with evolving technology. Second thing, though it sounds silly, is competition. It does help. Competition is something that drives you and pushes you to be with those people who inspire you and to be out there and to, put yourself at a place where you feel your superiors or people who inspire you already are. And third thing, I think, is the emotional push that you get from friends and family. So they always encourage you, they critique you, and they're always there to be proud of what you do. So that is a major push in, like any successful person. So I think without them, there's nothing.
So one
So
great
these are
takeaway is competition is good for everybody because competition leads to
healthy competition.
exactly
Yeah.
healthy competition leads to more of
Yes.
self introspection. And how can you be better
Yes.
every day so that you are inspired every day and you inspire others as well on this journey. Wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful. Pallavi, coming down to the major point in the market today, everybody is talking about
Yes.
COVID-19, coronavirus,
Yeah.
and some people are also tagging it with some countries and everything. It's been
Yeah.
5 months and you have been upfront working non-stop as a warrior treating COVID-19 patients in Mumbai. I just
Yeah.
want to know what are your experiences about the same.
So initially, when this came in, there were a few cases. few and far between. So I don't think we took it. I mean, of course, I mean, everyone predicted it would come, but then we didn't really take it at face value. And then Nair Hospital, where I work, became the COVID hospital in Mumbai. And that's when things started getting worrisome. And after that, I was posted at Seven Hills Hospital, which is another large tertiary care center by the BMC. And that's where I saw it explode. Like in my first week at Seven Hills, which is in the first week of May, I saw like possibly 10 patients in a 20-bedded ICU. I saw 10 patients. Maybe 2 of them required ventilation. But now I see 20 patients in the ICU and all 20 requiring some form of ventilation. Now we've stepped it up to 3 ICUs. So ICUs are being made overnight, you know. So things are getting slightly out of control. I mean, now I'm back at Nair Hospital since yesterday. And you see all those videos of, you know, how doctors pose there. And it's actually true. So you have acute shortage of staff. You have overworked doctors and lack of equipment to handle such numbers. So there is a gross, deficiency in our system which really needs to be addressed. And second thing, it really takes both an emotional and a physical toll. Physical because, I mean, how much ever you say it, it's not enough. Like wearing a PPE, even though it looks like 6 hours, is an easy job. When you're drenched in sweat in the heat without air conditioning, when you feel dehydrated, you cannot eat, you cannot drink, you cannot use the washroom. It is quite difficult. I don't experience it personally being at a level where I have some privilege of not going in for 6 hours, but I see juniors of mine struggling with this. And secondly, emotionally, declare deaths, to talk to patients, especially when you form bonds over the last 1 week, and then they crash in front of you, and you know to declare things, to declare deaths, to declare bad prognosis. I mean, mentally, I have never been in a worse place mentally over the last 2 or 3 weeks, but we're just trying to hold on.
So Pallavi,
Yeah,
do know
that's
that
it.
we are really proud of you. All the viewers
Thank
here
you.
might be really proud of you, wherein you're working upfront. Not many people get this opportunity to serve, and you are serving over there. By the way, if you haven't liked or subscribed to my channel, this is the right time, and you can follow one more link wherein you can suggest me whom I could interview in the future. And Pallavi here writes blogs on swaddle.com, so I will be sharing the link as well. How Pallavi is writing blogs about her. The experiences, the daily experiences being in the hospital, so they are worth reading it, and there is some real insight into it, the real emotion of a doctor which is brought out. So we will be sharing that link as well. Do go and check that out. So coming back, Pallavi, it's
Yeah.
been a fairy tale. I don't know, it's a fairy tale, or you are a great doctor today, and
Oh my God.
always, to do something big, you have to be inspired. You always do big only when you're inspired. If you recall your past or earlier circumstances, can you tell me one incident or circumstance which actually made you envision that you want to be a doctor and serve others?
Actually, to be honest, my grandfather was a doctor. And since I was very young, I only remember him, being this guardian angel to his patients. And even when he was 70, patients would just come, and the sheer, like, good touch, like he just console them and say something, that itself worked. For many patients, it's not just about medicine, it's also about how you communicate, how you talk and deal with patients, and there's a huge mental component involved. But that being said, I do not think I really wanted to be a doctor. If you've known me through school, and I think being a doctor or an engineer was the last thing on my mind. But as normal Indian kids, when you do academically well, that is a natural course that you take. But I have absolutely no regrets, because once you're in it, you're completely sucked in, and there is no looking back. There are absolutely no regrets. I wouldn't have it any other way. So an inspiration, I would say, my grandfather, to be honest. But it wasn't something that led me to what I'm doing today. But definitely, it probably ignited some small sparks.
That's really touchy
Yeah.
and emotional to know. So you had a great family inspiration. I'm really happy about it. So we are all talking about this pandemic, COVID-19, Corona. See, earlier people were a little serious when the lockdown was there. Now people are not so serious. I would say they are a little careless right now. So it's hard for me to say, but it hurts me as well when I see people being little what they say fragile when they are. Not actually following the protocols or maybe the safety instructions or the social distancing. So when all this is given, how do you see we could combat coronavirus, or how do we see the end of COVID-19?
Uh, Frankly speaking, I do not see an end very soon.
Okay.
I do not want to be negative about it, but I feel there is a lot of lessons that we can take from this. We have to start learning to live uh, with the virus in a more, sort of, um, what do you call it? We have to learn to live with it with caution.
Okay.
That is the message that I would like to say. We have to learn to respect our environment. We have to learn to respect our bodies, treat ourselves to a more healthy lifestyle. Clean environment should not be a privilege or a luxury. It should be a basic necessity
Necessity.
and a basic right of every person living in this country. And on top of that, obviously, this is in parallel to a good primary healthcare system of the government. We need to push for primary and obviously all levels of healthcare. We need to push for, because you know how now that this pandemic has shown the true colors of government setup. So we really need to push for that, and together we can overcome. I have faith that we will overcome. The virus will not overcome us. We will overcome the virus, not completely, but we will.
We hope we find an antidote as soon as possible, and there is a good vaccine for COVID-19. So,
Yes,
coming back to success and life skills.
yes.
So, can you give me 5 points that always define success?
Okay. So, well, one, there is no recipe for success. Two, yeah, really, there is no replacement for hard work.
Wow.
Three, you always have to believe in yourself. You have to love yourself, and you have to believe that you can be the change.
Okay.
Four, in the middle of all that self love, always know there is always a little humility. Always be grateful for your humble beginnings, wherever they are from. And five, it's never always about the money. Money will come to those who are content with what they do. So don't run after the money. Be content with your job, and everything else will come to you. Yeah.
Oh, that was a great insight. This is not only for, I think, being a doctor. This could be for businessmen. This could be for the startup founders, the
Uh,
entrepreneurs, career growth, and all. It's so simple, so aptly told, and so real. Thank you so much, Pallavi. So
Thank
there
you.
might be new aspiring doctors out there who are still studying in, say, PU or 12th standard, or they might be graduating, or might be some people are still in their school days who want to become doctors. You being one of
Yes.
the greatest. Doctor, you say. You are academically good. So what will be your message to the young aspiring doctors?
So I would just say that it doesn't look nice at the moment. There's everyone from all sides is always blaming you for everything that goes wrong. So I know it's a very big deterrent for many people right now. Everyone says don't join the medical profession. That's the last thing you want to do. But I am always proud of what I do, and I have no regrets. If there is any way that you want to give back to society, if there's any way of anyone telling thank you for saving my life, there is no bigger
Yeah.
satisfaction than someone having told you such a thing. So nothing comes easy though. It is a lot of hard work. You see your peers working, living their best lives when you are slogging. But if self contentment is what you need, you have to work for it, and you will achieve it eventually if you give your 100%.
Yeah, always give your 100%. Yes, right.
Yes.
So, whatever is your dream or aspiration about being a doctor, first I would say do a complete study about it. Like, how do you actually get over there before starting, so that then you actually know how much price you have to pay, as in the hard work and the study and everything. So, wonderful. So, Pallavi, coming down to the conclusive
Yes.
part of this interview,
Yes.
as a general person, no, not as a doctor, as a general person, what are your great thoughts on this wonderful thing we call it as life?
life? Well, I should say opportunity is knock around every door, and there is no dearth of opportunities. It is up to you to grab all opportunities. But in the middle of grabbing opportunity, do not forget to live life. Uh, Even being a doctor or whatever profession you're in, always learn to take a step back. Give time to things that you like apart from career. Career should not define who you are, it is just a part of who you are. And happiness should be number one priority, no matter what. Happiness is number one priority. And friends and family first.
Wow.
Without them, life is nothing. So, friends and family, happiness, career doesn't take a back seat, but it doesn't define who you are. Definitely a part of you, but let it not engulf you to a point where nothing else matters.
Oh
So
my
that
God.
is my take
So,
back.
Pallavi, wow, nice. So you are over there in the front fighting pandemic COVID-19. Just to say, I am really proud of you, and I believe all the viewers here will
Thank
be
you.
really proud of you. You're doing
Yeah,
something
thank
great.
you.
Just know that it is just something great, because some people are so afraid and scared to even come out of their house. And in this situation, you have taken the lead, and you're out there saving lives. I hope we are able to save as many lives as possible, because we do not know
We
how
hope so too.
uncertain this pandemic looks like.
Yes.
So here I would request everybody that if you wouldn't have subscribed or liked the channel, this is the right time to do. Now I would like to request Pallavi to ask our viewers to subscribe and like my channel, and they can follow you also on the blog.
Please like and subscribe to his channel right below. And I have a blog. It's not a blog, but it's a daily diary I've been narrating to some editor from the Swaddle. So you can look it up there. I might have a few more coming up, so might be interesting for people who are not out there on the front lines to know what it is like for us every day. So thank you for listening, and hope you can take home something useful.
Thank you so much, Pallavi. This is it from the KM Talks
Thank you.
today. We'll meet up next as soon as possible. Till then, take care. Bye.
Take care.